People have been warned about a possible levee breach, I understand. What can you tell us about this and the kind of danger to the area?
That's right, Alex. And we have a new aerial image. I don't know if it's into the control room yet, so I'm going to see if they can tell me if we have it. But I'm just to the side of a community. You can see there's some flooding in the background here. So it sounds like we do have this image. So if they can pull up this photo that we received from, oh, this looks like, okay, that's chopper video, because I'm looking at a screen here, Alex, and as people might be able to tell at home, I'm in a car. It's a very fluid situation out here. We have had a lot of trouble with cell phone signal and with navigating because of the ongoing issues with floodwaters. We have seen roads literally washed away. We have seen other roads still flooded out, and here on the eastern side of Sarasota County, we heard from the Sheriff's Department that there was this threat of a levee possibly breaching that could have flooded out a community. We're told that this is about 70 homes. It's not going to cause more expansive damage beyond that, according to the Sheriff's Office. And I just got another update from the Sheriff's Department here saying that they do not have any reports of missing people or fatalities. So that, of course, is good news, Alex. And all of this, just for context, is unfolding more than 2 days after Ian first struck this area. We're talking about a potential breach of a levee that occurred overnight in the early morning hours, and that's when police started making the evacuations, according to the Sheriff's Department. And just to give you an idea of how much water is here, that it was still putting pressure on infrastructure more than 2 days after this storm first struck. And I can tell you it is still very difficult to navigate these areas, and because of the cell phone issues, I can imagine it's even harder for people to try to find their way back to parts of these communities, and the images just say it all, Alex.
So I'm being told, Jesse, that specifically this is video. It happened just this morning, and we are showing the levee issues right there. It's my understanding that were that levee to break, although I gotta say, it looks like it has been inundated at this point, given the amount of water in the region. What, about 15 feet of flood water could be unleashed? It doesn't look like a heavily residential community. I mean, I think you said about 70 homes would be affected, but wow. I mean, can you confirm that levee has not broken?
Well, so and there's a new image that has just been sent to me by the Sheriff's Department, and I know we were trying to get it into the system to be able to show it, that appears to show a portion of this earthwork. So this, if you can imagine like a green strip, and it appears to be partially submerged underwater in this image I have on my phone. And I know we're going to work to get that into the control room. It is largely not a residential area, but that appears to be a private development. It says it's an airport community, so it appears to be some kind of civil, aviation community. Everything else around here is pretty much farmland, horses, cattle. We're not far from the Sarasota suburbs, but I can tell you, even there, we had to wait upwards of 10 minutes probably to be able to pump gas at a rather large gas station. So there are certainly still infrastructure issues out here, and it's slow going on the roads. But yeah, to underscore what you've just brought up there, Alex, we are not looking at a heavily residential area. So thankfully, it doesn't appear that there are as many homes that would be impacted here as it would have been in some of the more populated areas that have been hit by these storms. All of that said, we are looking at farmland that is currently underwater, and surely there is damage to plenty of people's property out here, and just adding to the headaches that are ongoing out here, and at minimum is not going to make it easier for people here to clean up. And I can imagine it's going to make it hard for people to bring in help. Just for context, we were staying in Orlando as the storm made landfall, and we know that there were workers there who were waiting to be directed, presumably, where to go to help with cleanup. There were crews staged there, and we have not been able to make it to Fort Myers very easily today, and we've now been moving up towards Sarasota, and this is just our experience. You can imagine how many people might be trying to bring supplies or even going to check on loved ones in these communities.
Yeah, Herculean efforts, and really a lot of roadblocks in the way, to say the least, if you can call them roads these days. Okay, Jesse Kirsch, thank you so much for the details. Do travel safely. Thank you for that.